Yo, what is up folks? My name is Patrick, host of the EDH Brutality YouTube channel, and you're watching a series I like to call Game Winning Jank. So without further ado, how about you sit back, relax, and let's get into it. Welcome back guys, welcome back to the channel, thank you for dropping by and your ongoing support. You're watching Game Winning Jank, a series here on the EDH Brutality YouTube channel in which we showcase 3 janky ways to catapult your next win in Friday Night Magic. As always, timestamps will be provided down in the description below for those that like to jump around, and a friendly reminder that EDH Brutality is now on Patreon, offering several tiers for you, the viewer. So if you'd like to get more out of all things Metal and Magic, I highly recommend go taking a look on our Patreon. Link will be provided down in the description below. But without further ado, let's jump right into today's combos. Being our 10th episode and all, I really wanted to create something unique with some fun old school combos. So starting things off today, our first interaction is setting up with a Tog. The good old 1/2 summon a Tog creature for 1 colors and 1 red mana that reads, pay 0 mana to give +2/+2 until end of turn. Each time you use this ability, you must choose one of your artifacts in play and place it in the graveyard. This artifact cannot be one that is already on its way to the graveyard, and artifact creatures killed this way may not be regenerated. So essentially what we're doing here is we are sacrificing an artifact at instant speed. The Tog is eating it, and he is gaining +2/+2 until end of turn. Well, if paired with an Enduring Renewal for 2 colors and 2 white mana, this enchantment spell reads, play with the cards in your hand face up on the table. If you draw a creature card from your library, discard it. Whenever a creature goes to your graveyard from play, put that creature into your hand. And this allows us to create some crazy value with Enduring Renewal with our Tog, as long as we have a free to cast artifact creature. To do so, we are going to be playing Shield Sphere for this instance. This 0 mana 0/6 artifact creature reads, counts as a wall if Shield Sphere is assigned to a blocker, put a -0/-1 counter on it. And the reason why these 3 cards work together so well, as a matter of fact, is when you sack the Shield Sphere to the Tog, the Enduring Renewal will take it from the graveyard and put it back into your play to create a loop to make that Tog infinitely large. Not to mention, Shield Sphere is a fantastic blocker, giving its free mana cost, as well as the fact that it is difficult to remove, being a 0/6. Next up, the second combo of the day not only has great art, but an even better interaction. That's right, we can delete a single player from the pod as long as we start off with the card known as Lich. For 4 black mana, this enchantment spell with the errated text reads, as Lich enters the battlefield, you lose life equal to your life total. You don't lose the game for having 0 or less life. If you would gain life, draw that many cards instead. Whenever you're dealt damage, sacrifice that many non-token permanents. If you can't, you lose the game. When Lich is put into a graveyard from the battlefield, you lose the game. So essentially what we're doing here is, well, we're playing Lich and we're going to 0. And I'm not just talking about 0 life. No, we're going to $0 left in our bank account, because not only is Lich a very expensive card, but when paired with Mirror Universe, it gets much worse. Mirror Universe is a 6 colors artifact spell from Legends with errated text that reads, tap to sacrifice Mirror Universe, exchange life totals with a target opponent. Activate only during your upkeep. And this will result in us trading our 0 life total with a target opponent, because we don't lose the game for having 0 life, but they will. But of course, can we really say we won the game at the end of the day if we spent about $5,000 to eliminate a single player? Of course we can.
Oh, why is magic so expensive?
And last but not least, coming in at the number 1 spot for our final interaction of the day, we've got another pricey one here, starting off with a Grim Monolith. This 2 colors artifact spell reads, Grim Monolith does not untap during your untap phase. Tap Grim Monolith to add 3 colorless mana to your mana pool. play this ability as a mana source, and we can pay 4 colorless mana into Grim Monolith to untap the Grim Monolith. So yes, it's exactly what you think it is. It is a mana accelerant for a one-time use. However, we can abuse this if we pair it with a power artifact. For 2 blue mana, this enchant artifact reads: the activation cost of target artifact is reduced by 2 colorless mana. If this would reduce target artifact's activation cost below 1 colorless mana, target artifact's activation cost becomes 1 colorless mana. Power artifact has no effect on artifacts that have no activation cost or whose activation cost is 0. This is a very well-known combo in the game of Magic the Gathering, and if I may dare say, the very first infinite combo introduced into the game. The way this works, for those that are unfamiliar with the 2 interaction, is if we enchant our Grim Monolith with the power artifacts, the 4 colorless mana activated ability to untap the Grim Monolith will be reduced by 2, allowing us to untap it for simply 2 mana. And since we can tap the Grim Monolith for 3 colorless, we will net 1 colorless mana each time we untap the Monolith, essentially producing infinite colorless mana. It's confusing, but hey, it's math. And as they say, reading the card will explain the card. Yes, I know it's not a very interesting interaction, but I promise you we've got a pretty explosive play for the final piece of the puzzle here. That's right, we're adding a rocket launcher to the mix.
Easy. Now you try. First get a jar. Patrick, that's a rocket launcher?
Yes.
Rocket Launcher, a 4 colorless poly artifact that reads: pay 2 colorless mana to deal 1 damage to any target. Rocket Launcher may not be used until it begins a turn in play on your side. If it is used, Rocket Launcher is destroyed at end of turn. So obviously here, we can't use the Rocket Launcher the turn it comes into play. However, as long as we have infinite mana thanks to our Grim Monolith as well as Power Artifact, we can kill the entire table with ease the following turn. And I really can't name a better way to end off a fantastic episode 10 of Game Winning Jank. I love all these interactions so much, not to mention the artwork, the flavor, and just the pure mechanics behind them. They're quite crazy. But speaking of which, if you've got a crazy combo that you'd like to see featured in the following episode, as always, leave it down in the comment section below, and it just may get featured. And with that out of the way, if you'd like to stay tuned for future videos here on the channel, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that bell down in the bottom right-hand corner of your screen. Somebody said, my name is Patrick, host of EDH Brutality. I thank you for watching, I hope you enjoyed. And I'll see you in the next video. Peace out, guys.